This is Deadline Day on Sky Sports News HD. Plenty of deals under discussion before the 11 p.m. deadline. And the big question Arsenal supporters are asking this evening, could Mikel Arteta be on his way to the Emirates? We know that they are keen to sign him, and we are expecting a bid in the region of £10 million to go in for this before the window closes in a couple of hours' time. What that would do is that would then free up funds for Everton to bring in this man, Royston Drenthe, on loan from Real Madrid. Chelsea still waiting for any developments on this one involving Alvaro Pereira. We were told that Chelsea still in talks with Porto over him, although Pereira's agent has told us, though, that a deal seems increasingly unlikely in this window. It does come down to an issue of valuation, but Pereira himself has said that he wants to play for Chelsea. Porto just say, show us the money, and at the moment there's been nothing to suggest that a new improved offer is on the table that's been accepted. The talking is continuing, but even his agent now is playing this one down in the final few hours. A lot of debate still on Yossi Benayoun. We're still waiting for this one to move. Arsenal, we know, made an inquiry for him earlier on this week. He was being discussed about a possible deal with Raul Meireles as well, heading up Liverpool way. But the big question still tonight concerns Chelsea and whether or not they will make an improved offer for Luka Modric. Again, the expectation is that this won't now happen. Harry Redknapp has insisted that Modric is not for sale. This one has been talked about so much in the transfer window, but as far as Tottenham are concerned, they are standing firm on this one. They want him to stay in this shirt, and we're just waiting to find out if Chelsea do indeed test the water. This does sometimes happen so late on in the transfer window that clubs come in at the last minute and try to force the hand, knowing that the player himself wants to leave, but for now he very much remains in that Tottenham shirt. Two other deals still waiting for this one to be completed. Fulham, Brian Ruiz, he was due to discuss personal terms after Fulham agreed a fee with FC20 worth more than £10.5 million. And Fulham earlier did confirm the free transfer signing of defender Zdeněk Grigera on a one-year deal with an option for a further year. Of course, the big developments concerning Fulham concerned Alan Hutton there. Big movement there. We know that they came in for a bid with him in the region of £4 million. We also know that Aston Villa expected him to have talks with them tonight. There was still the feeling that possibly Aston Villa were going to edge this one, but this is something that's going to go right down to the wire as to whether or not he moves to Stoke, whether he goes to Aston Villa. Staying with Stoke, and they have been busy. We saw Rob Dorsett there with some very excited Stoke supporters. Big moves expected from them so far, and interesting to see the fact that Peter Crouch heading up there for talks. That would then, if this one is agreed, that surely then means Wilson Palacios goes through as well, because the deal being negotiated was for both players. That's why this deal has been held up. We know that Palacios had his medical at the weekend. We know that Cameron Jerome too is also close to joining them. He's been at the Britannia Stadium tonight finalising his move. To developments at Blackburn, and one player who's there tonight on his way out of Birmingham is Scott Dann. He's had his medical there. He's at Ewood Park finalising a move. Alan Myers is there. Stay with us. Hopefully we'll try to speak to him as he completes that move to Blackburn. We mentioned earlier Everton, a lot of frustrated supporters wondering exactly what's happening in terms of who they're going to be bringing in. Well, they are close to signing the Argentinian striker Denis Stracalursi. He was the top scorer in Argentina's top division last year. What that would then do then is the expectation that would then pave the way for Jermaine Beckford to head out of the club. Sky sources say that he could be off to Leicester in a deal worth up to £3 million.
If we find a player with a good goal-scoring record, we will try to take him. But there are many clubs who are after these kind of players. If we don't find him or we can't get him, okay, we're going like we are, because we are not desperate to take in players. We have a good squad, and the target we have, I think the squad we have here can do it.
Another deal we're expecting movement on involves Yakubu. He's been having a medical at Blackburn. We're told a fee agreed in the region of £1.5 million. A quick look at the summary of the clubs who've been busiest in this window. Queen's Park Rangers, particularly since that takeover, they've now bought as many players as Sunderland, 10 out there. A lot of Arsenal supporters were asking what Arsene Wenger will do. We can see there at the moment 6, that'll be rising to 7 very shortly, and of course possibly then on to 8 if they do indeed swoop for Mikel Arteta successfully. successfully. So a lot of clubs have done something in this window. Still, a couple of clubs haven't spent anything. But even without them, nearly £390 million has been spent by Premier League clubs in this transfer window. Just to keep us up to date on Twitter at Sky Sports News there, we're up to speed with all the developments as we can. So plenty of talking going on, Simon and Georgie, as the countdown continues.